Hello there, welcome back to Simon's Shed. It's time for another layout update on the Severn Valley Railway, which is my version of part of the Severn Valley Railway in N gauge. So yeah, it's a little bit colder than the last video, but I'm trying to stick to my word and get the next video out a week after the last one, as I said. So that's given me a bit of focus and a bit of a push to get some stuff done. So yeah, it is time for a little bit of a break from the craziness of the world and have a look at some model railway stuff for a while. So coming up, Mind the Gap, a lot of tarmacking, trees and a bridge. So yeah, I hope you're all keeping well and working on your railways. So let's go and have a look what I've been up to on mine. Before we go into the shed, let's just show you the outside because I've been doing a lot of work. It's now, as you can see, a different colour, urban slate I believe it's called, and I've fixed the guttering because it kept coming unclipped at the front and dripping down the front, which would have caused it to go rotten. So it's all been painted, and you can see the guttering there is now working properly. I swept all the leaves from around the back and painted the back as well, and did a bit on the roof just to nail some of the felt back down. Let's go around to the front. I'll show you the issue I fixed with the door. You can see it's the door's been raised, i.e. the hinges lowered, because it was sort of wedging and catching on the bottom here, down there. There you go, so now it's nice and free and it actually opens properly. So that's the work on the outside. Let's take a look what's been happening inside. So after a little bit of a tidy up in the shed, I had a look and tried to figure out what was the first job that needed doing on the actual layout itself, and I think you'll agree the thing that really jumps out most is the big holes in the boards here. So yeah, I think the task now is to fill those in. So I managed to find an old wardrobe door, which bizarrely was up our loft from before we moved in. So I've sliced that up along with some other scraps of wood, and I'll slot those in. I've got a box fresh set of new screws. I don't know if anyone else gets as excited about fresh boxes of screws as me, but there we go. We'll use those, and let's at least have a base where we can actually put some scenery down when we get round to it. There we go, all screwed down. Just needs a bit of a hoover up, get rid of the sawdust, but that's not going anywhere. Could probably stand on that. I'm not going to try it, but it's pretty solid, so that's good. And that now opens up a lot of possibilities, such as we can now stick the platform down probably. So this is the platform for the Severn Valley Railway, and I can now make something at this height, because obviously there's a dip down to the track bed, to sit this on. So that'll sit about there, I think. So we can do that bit quite easily. But yeah, I guess a lot of this area will have to be raised up to this height, and a lot of it will have to be covered in tarmac. You can see the car park is all the way around there, so all that will need to be tarmac. And I'm guessing I have to check what sort of level that is, whether that's the same level as the tracks or the same level as the platforms. I'm not sure. We're on a hill that sort of slopes at its highest point there and sort of slopes down, but obviously the track itself will be pretty much level. So I have to do a bit of research there, but yeah, I think I'm going to need to print out a lot of tarmac sheets. As I say, we've got this bit here. Still got to do this building, sort of 3 sections of building for the Severn Valley station itself. We've got the new Kidderminster mainline station there. Probably going to model that as the new one rather than what's there in this picture. So that's all changed now. That's a nice new sort of glass building. We got this huge, what I presume was a goods shed in the past, there to do as well. So that's quite a big building to do. And obviously the street itself, which will be along there. So lots to do, but let's at least try and get some ground cover down. Progress has been made. Let me take you through it. We'll start on the sort of approach past the turntable towards Kidderminster, going this way. So printed out a lot of tarmac sheets, the scale scenes from the scale scenes roads and pavements kit, and started basically filling in gaps here and here. Managed to get a sheet with the sort of yellow hatching on, which is supposed to be that yellow hatching there, and the big goods shed there is at the moment just represented by that sort of template, just to give you an idea of the scale of it. I might cut it down a little bit, but yeah, let's concentrate on what we have done. I've filled in that hole there, which is good because I can now put some more static grass down there. I have glued the platform, so that's now glued down in place, and as you can see, the concrete, the tarmac continues to there. So we're making progress, and I've not glued these, but I have placed them in what I think is the right place, and I think those are pretty close. The signal box isn't quite right, but I can modify it to look pretty close by getting rid of the steps, the external steps, and maybe a bit of paint on the upper bit. I'm not sure that's white, and there are the wrong number of windows at the bottom, but I think we can get away with that. So that's starting to look better, and there are water filling hoses somewhere around here, so I'll stick those on at some point as well. But in terms of the base scenery, the base ground cover, that's started to go down, and as you come off the platform you get onto a sort of slabbed area with the station buildings surrounding this. Again, I've not glued this down yet, but that is in the right place now, and I've glued down the little newsagent's stall there, so that's in the right place, and that sort of gives me a fix for where to place that. And the other thing, I don't know if you spotted, but we've got another platform over there, so that will be the far side of the Kidderminster Main Line station platform. There will be, I guess, somewhere around here. The bridge will cut across it, so you won't see the end of that, which is why I didn't bother making the very end the same colour, because you'll never actually see that. It should really all be tarmac on the surface, and in fact I can get rid of some of that because I measured it and sort of allowed for it going off into the distance under the tunnel that you wouldn't see, and added a bit on for look. And then I think when I made it I added a bit more on for look. Couldn't remember if I'd added the extra on, so it's actually too long at the moment, so I need to cut that down. But that's okay, because I think the offcuts from the walls there can probably be reused to sort of end the walls there, because that'll be the same material, the same brick surface. That's starting to come together now, and looking as I wanted it to, which is, you know, a bit more gritty and a lot more concrete and tarmac, to contrast with the other station over at Arley, which is all nice countryside. Still a long way to go, but yeah, starting to see what it could look like now when it's finally finished. Some other good news: supplies have arrived. I decided to go for a big tub of fine turf, since I keep using up the small bags, and it looks like Penduke Models are back on the scene. Checked their website a few weeks ago and it said seafoam coming soon, so I've obviously got or grown a new supply. So ordered a box of seafoam, which is great because it allows me I need to add a lot more trees, and it looks like another good batch. Some nice realistic looking trees potentially there. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a bit more ground cover with the tarmac and making some more trees. More trees have been manufactured, and I've showed it before, but essentially I just fill up this with PVA and dip the seafoam tree in and sprinkle on the, where's it gone? Sprinkle over the scatter, sort of normally a couple of rounds of that, and it's fine. So I've got some more trees. I've still got loads left in the box to make for when I need some more, but I have planted some over here to improve this area a bit, and also that bit where I covered the gap is now static grassed, and planted some trees on that. It's not come out exactly as I wanted. It's a bit too green. I was trying to get it to go like it does on this picture. It sort of goes from green to muddier and muddier as it gets down here. It's sort of worked right at the end, but yeah, that's what I'm going for, so I'll have to maybe put a bit more earth scatter down to make it look a bit muddier. This is all the same. I've been looking at videos from the Severn Valley, and there seems to be a bit more of a gap in real life behind the signal box, so I think I'm going to move it. I'm glad I didn't glue it down. I saw one and there was like a car parked right behind the signal box, which confused me at first, but then if you think about it, you just come in the car park and you can go straight down there, and you can actually drive. There is a gate somewhere around here, but you can actually drive up behind the signal box if you're, you know, a signalman or whatever. So I think that needs to nudge down a bit, but we can... the water tower's fallen over. We can sort that out later, but I'll just put it there to remind me. Yeah, I need to tidy up here. This is now Slightly covered in static grass, but that's no problem. Trees ready to go, but the main other thing that I've been doing is down here. As you can see, I've started on the road bridge that goes over the sort of mainline tracks, and I've ordered some plywood backboards, so I'll be able to put the backboard in there and sort of along there, and finally get that bit sort of closed off. And I think once the backboard's on, it should look good, and it should start to sort of come together then. So let's have a closer look at the bridge. So yeah, I just used the Scale Scenes Road kit to do the roads and pavements kit, and the plastic, sort of modified the Pico plastic girder sides to sort of level them off a bit. It still looks a bit rough and ready at the moment. It's obviously not finished and it's not stuck down, but I was trying to figure out the position really. I think I've got the height right. I was just playing with the height to get the right height with that carriage. I'm happy with that, and then obviously it will slope down for the rest of the sort of run of that road. And I've just done a basic, you won't really see underneath, but I've just done a basic sheet underneath, and we've got some bars at the side, and I need to cover up that. I've tried to cover up that arrow on the road, but I need to do a better job of that. So yeah, work in progress, but I think I'm literally going to stick that to the wall to give me the position, and the backboard will go right behind that. So that's the end of the scene, and these trees represent where there will be a row of trees. So the backboard will be all along here. The road will get down to this level, and I've been looking at what happens here. So there's sort of a wall here, and basically all this will be blocked off and have trees on it. So it's about this height. So there's sort of really tall tree. There's a jump up, and then there's like trees all over this bit. So I'll be able to do that. And I've been sort of drawing bits on here. So this is supposed to be the station, just to make sure, and the other platform, just to make sure I can fit everything in. It's not quite exactly to scale in real life. There's this should actually be a bit longer up here now that I've cut it down, but I didn't want to rip up all the track and start doing that again, so I'll leave that as it is. It's pretty much true to life in terms of the back of the station sort of roughly lines up with, will roughly line up with the end of that platform there, and yeah, I think it'll look realistic. The bridge, I think the colour on the outside is fine, but it's actually sort of painted black on the inside, so if you're on the pavement over there it should actually be black, so I might paint that if I get a chance. But yeah, other than that, I'll wait for the back scene wood to arrive and carry on fettling away at the bridge and see if I can get that ready for when the back scene comes. But yeah, making some progress. Hope you enjoyed that little diversion from the world outside, and yeah, I'll crack on with this and see if I can get some more done. But for now, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.